Let's see if anybody comes in first. Oh, who's here? Anybody here? Hey, Digger. How are you? Hey, Zoe. What's up? Hey, Union Pacific. What's up, Lee? What's up, Eric? Not much. What's going on with you fellers? On them trains. What's up? I don't know. You tell me. What's up with you? I have a guest, and we're going to talk about layouts. He's downstairs. He's in the basement. On them trains. Your name's Ian, right? Where you at, Eric? I saw a video. Just saw a video of somewhere in North Jersey. An NS train hit a car. It was on the tracks at nighttime. You're home, huh? Nice. I don't know how long ago the video was from. CA11 hit a car the other day, Zoe. What's up, ANC Eric? Is my guest over there? What are you doing over there? Trying to see if he's ready to go or if he's goofing off. Oh, what's up, Real Zerk? What's it from? What about that truck that hit the house around the corner from you? Yeah, it's crazy. I saw the dash cam video. It's crazy. Is the guest ready now? I don't know. Is he? Mr. Guest, are you ready? Mr. Guest, are you ready? Shake your head. Give me a thumbs up. Oh, he's saying no, he's not ready. He's picking his nose or something. Apparently the driver had a seizure. Yeah. Yep. Well, we're going to talk about layouts and some layout ideas, maybe. You ready, Mr. Guest? Are you done screwing around over there? What's up, Digger?
Oh,
Hey, Dwight Curly. What's up?
hi, Dwight. Hello, everyone. How you doing, Jerry?
Pretty good. How are you? Joe G, what's up?
I'm good.
Good morning. I guess it could be good morning.
Hello,
What's
Joe.
happening? What's happening, Joe G? Are you just waking up? I don't know if he's a great guest, but he's a guest. That's not a guest, that's Digger. Well, he is a guest today because we're going to talk about his layout.
Yep, we're talking about my layout. Get used to it.
So Digger has a video out, and he's talking about his new layout. Letting you see his old layout for the last time or whatever. Maybe not the last time, but tell us about your new layout, Digger. How big's your train shed going to be?
It's going to be exactly 12 foot wide. I was going for 10, but Sparky said make it 12 because you won't have enough room at 10. So I did that, and it's 30 foot long. It's going to have a double door at one end for big stuff to come in and out on occasionally, and on the long side at the front, which is near to the back door of the house or nearest, it's going to have a single door and a row of windows, so there's going to be a lot of daylight coming in that way.
Have you broke ground on the new shed? It's not really. You don't really need to break ground, right?
No, the guys are going to do all that. I am. The ground is ready to receive the builders and what have you.
Yeah, you're not.
Break the ground.
You're not pouring a pad or anything like that, right?
No, they're doing a base.
Yeah.
They're coming one day to do the base, and then they'll come and build it after that.
So what are those two big doors at the end for? Ron's horses or something?
Better not be for horses. No, in case.
Sheep?
It's in case we ever need to put something big in there.
Like horses and sheep?
No, not that big. No livestock. It's got to be inanimate.
Yeah.
Going in there. Yeah, we're going to have heating. I've got heat in the current shed, but it's not as just. I don't know. There's still gaps in the walls, and I never finished lining it before I built the layout and stuff like that. So this one's going to be the opposite way around. It's going to be insulated and lined, heating will be put in there properly and stuff.
Do you think you'll need air conditioning or no?
Probably not aircon, but I'll have an extractor fan.
Yeah.
I'll have a cooling fan in there if needs be.
Heat's more important.
Certainly is, but it's very rare we get so hot here for needing air conditioning inside. Yeah, in a small space like the car. But the shed, I guess, opening a door or opening a couple of windows is going to help, and a cooling fan on. We got really hot. We'll see.
I'm going to guess that Digger's totally dumbass.
I'm guessing the same, Jerry.
And I'm totally D. There's so much that goes into a shed that to make it rail ready. Man, Joe G, you just did a shed too, didn't you, Joe G? So Digger, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have bench work all the way around?
It's going to be a complete all the way around. Still toying with the idea of a peninsula. Yes or no, depends. But
so basically you're gonna have two lift out sections, lift up sections, because you have two doors.
Yep. I'm gonna have a hinge section for the small door and a lift out for the double door if I ever need it.
Big door.
The hinge one's going to be in and out quite a lot in it. But I've already spoke to the joiner about that, and he's happy to do that.
Yeah.
he doesn't think it's all going to take him a long time.
Yeah,
I'm going to insulate the wall ceiling.
Pay attention, Dwight. He said he was going to insulate it. Pay attention here. What's up, Eddie? How's it going? So how big's your bench work going to be? How tall? How deep? Is it all going to be the same?
The tall, it's going to be 40 inch. I've got a tape. Oh, could you pass me that orange tape on the top shelf of this cupboard, please? Thank you very much. I've worked it out with it, and I think it was 45 inches about here, and that's comfort enough to, you know, to be able to reach over and stuff without where it is now. I'm bending over like that, and it's putting on my back a lot.
Is anybody having a hard time hearing Digger? Besides you, Dwight. Anybody else having a hard time hearing Digger? Well, you will get an air conditioner in your shed, Rusty.
It's going to be 28, isn't it?
You can hear him fine. Turn your hearing aids up, Dwight. So it's going to be around 40 inches high?
45.
45.
Yeah, it's at least 45. Then I can get over without having to bend, and I've got the storage underneath then as well. You know, a decent height.
Right.
I can store my drawers, my sets of drawers underneath easily.
How deep is it going to be?
28.
28 everywhere?
I think so, yeah. That's subject to change, but I worked it out at 28, and that will give me, or maybe 30. If we go to 30, that's just less than 3 foot, but it's like a kind of arm's length type, you know. But I'm not going to have the track right at the very back.
Right.
It's going to be forward a bit, so because I was just working out how much area I'm going to have in between from one side to the other, because it's a 12 foot wider, and then maybe I can put a peninsula, so keeping those to a reasonable size allows me.
Yeah, so like you're going to have like 3 foot on each side, right? So you're going to have 6 feet of an aisle.
Yeah.
Basically. Probably a little more, right?
Yeah.
Single level?
For now. Yeah.
People in there double levels. How many main lines you're gonna have? 2 main lines or?
I was thinking this time 3.
3. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have a staging track?
No, I thought about that, and over here, a lot of them, they call it a fiddle yard, where you're hooking up and doing. A lot of them are out of sight, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to have like a freight yard type of deal.
It's the same thing.
All the freight can be dumped and stored in the sidings.
And
that's going to save me like now. The mistake I've got with this one is I've only one long siding, and I can put one train into that and all the rolling stock, and that's the only siding I've got, and an attraction maintenance depot. And so I haven't got a lot of space. I've got to take everything off to change the freight over, you know, say for oil tankers or something.
So right now, how many rail serve industries are on your layout now?
1, 2, floor on the. About 5 or 6, about 6, I think, and then the little station and stuff.
So you're gonna have more? You're gonna have less? Do you know?
Some of them are going to be ex-rail served industries where the rails used to go and no longer do, and now they're just serviced by road or run
Right.
down and sort of redundant buildings. Some are still going to be rail served, but better. I'm going to put a better loop in so that it can come down and serve one or two different industries. Maybe even have a siding off that to store rolling stock specific to that industry, and then I'll have it being able to rejoin the main line further down. Because I'm going to have the room to do that this time. So
yeah, you don't have a track plan, right?
not on paper, only in my head.
In your head. Do you want to put something down on paper?
I'm going to do probably before, yeah, because I've got to kind of know the things I want to get in there.
Yeah, you kind of got to know what you want on there, and
Then
it'll be easier. I think it'll be easier once you get your bench work up, and then you could start deciding where you're going to put what. Where your town. Are you going to have like how many towns do you have now? Just one?
Just one, and just like a north side, south, east side, and a west side.
So are you going to have still one town, or are you going to have a couple towns? And you got 30 feet. That's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. 30 be 12 be 30 be 12. So I've already been thinking of lots of things I want. Oh, I could have a freight terminal for the a dock area where the ship comes in. I could have an oil terminus, and I could have this and that. But I need to rationalize it in my head so that I'm not getting carried away.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy, to fill a space with a lot of stuff, It depends what you really want, I guess.
There's going to be, initially, I'm going to start with the town planning and the buildings I've got and the ones I've got to build, where we're going to place. So we're going to make that into a town. I think Ron might be helpful there. She might be able to help me. And I've about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 buildings up here in the room with me that has never been to the layout. I've built them ready and for the new layout and left them there. That's quite true, Eric. I'm still playing around with what I actually want, and then I'll get it down onto paper. And once it's onto paper, I'll be able to go to my mate Howard at the model shop in Col at the West End and say, this is my track plan. Tell me the track I need and the curves I need and everything else. Hi, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, you'll figure it out. And the nice thing is he's close enough that you can, once you start taking track off your old layout, seeing what you want to, what you can save, what you can't save, and then you go from there. What you need, what you got, and
yeah, it'll be better this time round because I'm planning it from start to finish. And the one I have now, it only started down one side of the shed, and then I added a bit and a bit more and a bit, and before you knew it, I'd used the entire shed. And so things aren't as well planned out on there and whatever, I've kind of just added sections as I went along till it went all the way around. So many things on there are an afterthought,
Yeah.
And a lot of things I didn't plan out properly, You know, there's
Like,
street lights and stuff.
you got all this space, right? Do you think you're going to have like um, uh, breaks between towns, just like areas where there's just countryside?
At first, there will be, but you see, I could do that, and I'm quite happy to do that, or do something, a change of scenery, rather than a town. Or I'm not putting fields of cows or fields of sheep. I may put something like that on one section right at the back if I'm looking for stuff.
See you later.
Take care, mate. But initially there will be, so I could put a piece of sort of wilderness area, and as the town grows to a city, because I envisage getting everything down, and then more and more buildings are going to come along, and so it's going to expand just like a town or a city would in real life.
Yeah, when you say get everything down, what do you mean by that?
Once the tracks are in place,
Oh,
the
okay.
industries are in place, and the buildings and roads are all where I want them.
Right.
I'm going to have a rough idea of how much it's going to expand, because there's going to be more buildings I want and stuff like that, and an idea of how much. I don't want to make a typical British countryside, stone walls and a little cottage and bullshit farm on the end where it's sheep. And I don't want to do that. I've got Ron's farm all day long to go and look at, and I look out the back window and there's rolling hills and sheep and deer and stuff running about. So I don't want that on my layout.
So what are you going to have? You're going to have like 30, 60 feet of buildings and houses and towns? Like literally, like you could have hundreds and hundreds of buildings on this layout.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would be absolutely brilliant if I could do that and get away with it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'd love it. I could have an overhead line like they have in New York and Chicago, and that overhead transit system through the town, and that'd be wicked, wouldn't it?
I guess so, if that's what you want. Yeah.
I want to do a bridge, and I want to do a rail bridge, and that's got to be in the initial plan. And
so maybe something like that would be like at one of your lift offs or lift ups.
Could be, yeah.
Like here's the thing, like your big end where you're going to have a lift up, you don't want a section that's 3 feet by 6 feet long to lift up.
No.
Right. So I mean, you have it, maybe all your tracks like in that area converge, and they're maybe a foot wide or something, and that's your lift up, and that's a bridge or something like that, something where it's manageable.
Or failing that, the third line could be an overhead transit line. That's going to take, because I look at New York and I look at the rail bridge in Philly and the overhead lines in Chicago, but the New York one looks best in my opinion. It does really look good, and even if it's only for a short length, through part of the town, and then it joins higher ground and goes off, I still want to do something like that.
Yeah.
Make it look, all steel and ironwork all the way along underneath.
So basically, you could have at least 2 bridges, one for your man door and one for your big doors.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to put buildings and things like that on those parts.
No, definitely not. The The one where the double doors is, I am quite sure it's not going to be used very often. So
Okay.
I can have a screw down section what comes in and out.
Yeah.
So 2 people can drag it out, put it to one side, and bring whatever it is I need it bringing in. The one that's a little door is going to be up and down all the bloody time, isn't it? But I'd like a tiny little harbor scene, something like
Well,
that.
I think what you need to do is start writing shit down. See you, Eddie.
A list of what I want.
Yeah, you know, a list of things you want, because things are going to change. I mean, like, you know, because you want it now, you might not want it later, you know, something like that. But start putting your ideas down on paper, at least, because, you know, with me, my layout's small. So I don't need to put things down on paper because it's just small. There's not like a lot going on there. But you got a lot going on. You know, you need to take some notes or something.
But it did cross my mind today. What is wrong going to do with it all when I've snuffed it?
What?
What's wrong going to do with it all when I pop my clogs when I drop dead? What's wrong going to happen? She's going to be stuck with the bloody thing then, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's one of the other things you got to think about. Yeah, it's going to happen to everybody. I mean, you know, am
I leaving it a big nightmare for Rob by doing all this?
Well, I mean, you know, what's the difference? I mean, you know, I mean, she'll deal with it. She'll burn it or sell it, or I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean,
I'm gonna fill it with rabbits and guinea pigs.
Probably.
No, I'm not real.
I mean, like, what? So, what's your alternative? Don't do nothing?
Have a tiny layout that you can just throw in bin after I'm dead. No, I've got to build it. I've got to do it. Otherwise, I'll regret it. Whatever life I've got left, I'm going to regret it if I don't do it. I'll just make sure Ron knows how to dismantle it and give it away or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you make it so that it's easy to dismantle, that's fine, right?
I might play on it.
Ron might play on
I'll
it.
let you do all hard work of building all houses and stuff, and then I'll go on it.
You won't know what to do if there's a derailment.
Of course, we'll put it back on track.
She knows what to do. She's not that inept.
Well, I suppose once I'm dead, it's not my freaking problem, is it?
No, it's not. But at the same time, it's, you know, it's not fair to whoever's surviving. I mean, but it's how it is. I mean, you know, you're going to have your tools, and like, that's another thing. What are you saving those damn tools for? You ain't going to use them. Get rid of them. Be realistic. You're going to have so much time that wrapped up in your layout, you're not going to have time to do other shit. That's just my fault on it.
I did think about maybe selling some of my tools as well. You know, the milling machine and stuff that I'm really not going to use.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you know, but you have a lot of work. There's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
A ton of work. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you know what it's like, and you know, here's my thing: make your layout simple, so that it's easy to work on, easy to wire up, easy to run. You know, don't make it so complex that, you know, you're spending so much time wiring it. You got to get under there. Don't forget that. To do whatever you're doing. I don't know if you're going to have, you know, your turnouts are going to be manual. They're going to be, you know, there's a lot to think about. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna fix A lot of the accessories I've got a 3-volt, so I'm going to fix a double line bus rail all the way around as it's being built underneath.
Right.
Before we go, we'll just fire them in, and I'll do the same for a 12-volt line all the way around. And then once that's fastened down, obviously then once it's back down, I can work out where stuff's going once the tracks are down, and I can tap through then into the main bus line underneath, which is something I didn't do with the one I've got, and I'm just running wires underneath in the bloody dark and
Right.
trying to connect them all together and what have you at random spots.
Yeah. So what I did was I did distribution block. I don't have a lot, but I have one distribution block. My power goes into that distribution block, and then all my feeders go out from it.
Yeah, I've got one for the 3-volt stuff.
It just makes wiring so much simpler.
Yeah. Fasten it up under there so it's not dangling down like a lot of spaghetti in the way.
Are you going to do power turnouts or anything, or are you just
not sure? I am not sure. I'm not over keen on doing it.
I
won't be using them a lot because I prefer tail chasing more than doing others. So I won't be using them that often. So I probably just as well keeping it manual.
You're basically going to run trains, continuous trains.
Yeah.
You're not really going to do switching or anything like that, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. That doesn't appeal to me doing all that. Obviously, I'll bring trains in and out from the goods.
Yeah, that's your extent of switching. I mean,
as far as it'll go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing numbers and picking ups and drop-offs and all that type of deal.
All right.
Just keep it simple. The overhead line, I might build an above ground, station. Like they have it, Walthers has a kit for building an overhead line station that you get onto. You can get a module that you connect to it for DC, and it'll stop a certain amount of time at certain points, so you can have it stopping at the station.
Yeah, there's a couple people that have them.
And then go along and stop at the next one, and then go around and whatever.
You're going to keep DC, right? You're not going
to
change it to DCC.
No, I'm not going to do. I might, in time, it's something I may well look into. I'm going to put a buzz wire under there in case. I do want to do that, but at the minute, I'm plenty invested in everything's DC, all my locos and stuff,
Yeah, Jimmy, you're assuming that he has fans.
That's true, Hugh. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I'm sure people are willing to give less than a dime with my name on it, for the buildings and everything once it's got my name on there.
Yeah, don't worry. She'll just go down to Howard, and Howard will buy all this stuff back.
I think he'll be gone by then. He's a lot older than me.
You never know.
You never know. That's true. And then there's another model shop in the town I'm at, Les Brown there, and he there's a few people about who'd probably take it off her hands, and especially if it's easy enough to come in and out.
Yeah. So there's another model shop in your town?
There's one in the town I live in and one in the next town. The one in the town I live in is it's a hardware shop, and he's the guy who owned the hardware shop, and he's owned it for years. He's also a model railway chap, and he's gone upstairs there and made a little shop. It's good, and I've been and I've bought stuff from him, but he doesn't hold a lot of stock. Okay. He doesn't hold a lot of stock, and he's not always about. And plus, it's a bloody long way. When I get down there and get into the shop, you can, on occasion, park right outside the shop, but it's a hell of a flight of steep stairs. And there's a lot of turns in it before I get up there. And doing that with a crutch and holding on
Yeah.
and everything, it's a pain in the ass. Then
So
he
Howard,
feels obligated to carry the stuff down the stairs for me and back to the car and that.
Howard's is easier.
A lot easier, yeah. I can park at the side of his shop and just go around the front and in.
Okay.
And he carries a lot of things.
Does he?
Yeah, lots and lots of stuff.
You need to do a video of Howard's shop.
There is one already online. I saw it, but it wasn't a very good one. So I might talk to Howard about doing that. I'm sure he'll let me do a quick video.
It's not your video.
Huh?
It's not your video. It's somebody else's.
Yeah, at the moment there's one out there. It's not mine. But
Okay.
yeah, I've no doubt I could produce a video. I'm planning, you see, when this gets started, my rate of doing videos, I've got a couple of new gadgets to help me out with the videos. I've got for want of a better word, a dolly on a telescopic stick that you mount your camera on and you can push it along. So it can ride along the layout and look at the view at layout level and push it along smoothly, you know.
Yeah.
And I've got that new tripod that goes really high and then you can wind it up and down to get the right camera position and angle and stuff. And I'm planning filming start to finish. When these guys come and start the base, I'm going to film a bit of that if they're okay with it. I'll film it when they've done it, if they're not. And I'm going to film the building going up. I'll film the bench work being done. I'll film the spark coming in, doing the electric. I'll do that. And then it's all going to be about the layout, because I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to do quite a lot of videos and maybe a few lives as well. Going to be more comfortable in there than it is in the current building.
So maybe something you should think about now doing is taking up track. If you're going to save track from your layout.
Yeah.
Start doing that, because that could take you a while to take it up. Is it ballasted?
Yeah, a lot of it's ballasted. There's quite a bit that isn't, but the vast majority is now ballasted. So it's easy enough, just damp it down, don't you?
I don't know, never did it.
Yeah, I've took it up. It's because I've had to replace pieces before now, but just damp it up and then pull the pins and lift it out. There's a lot of mess, a lot of wet, gravelly ballast everywhere.
Yeah.
So you've got to shake all that off, but it's easy enough to lift off and do. It's easy enough to do. You've got to clean it up well afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think because it's not cheap and a lot of it's only a couple of years old, but I've used them. So if it comes up without any bother.
Yeah, if it's easy to come up, you'll pull it up and use it. And if it's a pain, you won't.
Yeah, if it's not worth the hassle, I won't bother. Some of the track I've already had to replace on that layout because unknowingly it wasn't the newer track that doesn't corrode, you know. It was the old steel stuff. And it got damp. Every year there were a problem with having spots of rust on there and stuff.
Do you do cork roadbed or anything like that, or no? You just lay track right on the sub.
I did it on this one, but I did inquire that with Howard when I first started out, and he said if you don't mind the noise of the train, put it straight onto the board, unless you want it running silently, which I didn't. I like to hear the train on the track.
Yeah.
So I put it on the board. The only problem you have with that, a lot of track isn't, or in the UK for sure, isn't level with buildings in the road. Sometimes it's quite far above buildings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can be. it can be sort of halfway up the height of the house, running along the embankment at the back of the houses, you know.
Oh yeah, that sort of thing. Because your ground isn't level.
Yeah, and then it's the same. There's parts where the town is above the rail track by such a long way, you know.
Yeah.
And the ones that almost level, it's only a couple of feet above ground level with the ballast and that. So I couldn't possibly
Sure is, Rick.
have all those variants if I'm just laying it straight to the board, because if I lay it straight to the board, it's as high as the surrounding land then, isn't it? It's all flat. Don't look
Yeah.
right.
So will you use cork or no?
No, I might form the lot. I might form the lot of it. And then I can build up higher and lower ground here and there.
So what are you going to do? You're going to have plywood and then put foam on top of it?
Yeah, to create variants.
Right. Yeah, Digger, I think you should start drawing stuff, taking notes, and doing
You're
all
right.
these. I mean, you got a lot going on. It's not like, it's not like your little train layout now. I mean, it's how big is this new one compared to your old one? 2 times, 3 times as big?
It's just over twice the size.
Twice the size?
Yeah, just over twice the size. So it's got more potential. You know, a lot of square feet, especially if I put a peninsula in, that's even more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you need some type of a plan.
Yeah, start putting my idea. I've done a lot of planning in my head, and like for the harbour area, you know, and stuff like that, where I want it. It's got to not look real. It's got to not look contrived. You know, it's got to look like it's been a natural inlet, and they've industrialized it type of deal.
Are you like taking notes, like watching other videos?
Oh yes, yeah.
Seeing scenes that you like from something, and oh, I like how he did that. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'm watching the track plans and how they've done. A lot of people have, a lot lower sections, so they can get a road bridge, a road going over the rail bridge, and some people have 3 or 4 rail bridges crossing and stuff, which is pretty good. Looks good. There's a lot to consider, but I mean, if you look at Vic Smith's City Edge, he's got the overhead line, but he does have a train that runs right along the road system, like it does in plenty of places in America.
How big is Hot Dog Andy's layout? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think it's a good 12 foot long, I would say.
He's got a nice layout. I like his.
At least.
Yeah. What's up, Wigwag? How's it going?
Hi, Wigwags and Rick. Yeah, there's loads and lots to consider on it yet. So, but yeah, I've got to draw a track plan down on paper and see how that's going to work.
Well, at least your ideas. I mean, get an idea of where you want turnouts, where you want siding. You know what I mean? Is like you need something. I mean, it's just like you got a lot going on there.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Rick. False Bailey second-hand furniture, and Hugh wants a second-hand car sales place, doesn't he? Hugh Gassol's second-hand quality motor cars. Will be run riding a horse and herding sheep. No, shove it, that idea.
No, Jimmy.
Sorry, but no, no. I can see Ron riding a horse any day. Of the
So
week,
like
real.
Digger, like your layout mentors are who? Whose layouts do you like?
The one I mentioned, Vic Smith, City Edge, and
And
you know, I like George Celius, Franklin, and South Manchester. That's not my era, but bloody hell, what a good layout he's done, and all the dirt, and he's got it looking so real. And then there's another one by a guy called Paulie. I can't remember his full channel name, about New York, and he's actually from New York, and he's built the area where he used to have a little shop. He used to sell bonsai trees in a shop near some of the overhead lines, and he's built that. A lovely, lovely little city type layout, really nice. But I like Jason Jensen, what he's doing as well. And then there's people on here with layout.
Jason Jensen really doesn't run trains, right?
No, he's just buildings and building.
His layout is just buildings.
Yeah, that's true. But I must admit, I used to like Vinny's layout, you know, with the different areas. But I mean, he took over 3 rooms of the house to do that, didn't he? You know, and he'd have industry towns, and he'd have desert area and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's
good. But I'm not planning on having anything that big.
Your layout is still going to be the UK, right?
It is regrettably going to be the UK, but with a heavy American influence. Because it's a made-up place, I feel I can get away with doing that. If you look at London, there's a lot of old and new buildings. There's a big city up here near me called Bradford. Yeah. And there's in Bradford, there's buildings from the 17th century, weavers' cottages stood alongside brand new skyscrapers. And across the road from that might be a car sales room in a little children's play park. And it's incredible, the architecture and the way they've thrown it together over the years. And that I want to achieve that type of look. But that New York, Philly, Chicago, look at those areas and how they've built them and how the towns and cities look. I'm on about the inner city rather than the suburb areas, you know. And yeah. I just love that look and feel about the places. But I've got a lot of advice and I've got a lot of people to draw. And as you know, you've given me some spot on advice over the years, and still to this day I've done.
But Rick's trains, he's talking about big radiuses and big cars. You don't have a lot of big cars, though.
No,
right?
The largest I have is the Class 66 Loco and the intermodal freight that it pulls.
Yeah, so cars in the UK are nothing like cars here in America.
No.
Like they don't have like
real crap. Yeah.
Your passenger cars aren't. Are they big?
Yeah, the passenger cars are quite big, yeah.
Do you have passenger trains?
I have 2 of the intercity trains, a Virgin Rail and a British Rail. Both HST Class 43s. And I've got the Pacer, like a diesel multi-unit. And that's probably the one that'll go on the inner city overhead line route to get people about from the city and what have you, you know.
Sorry, do you use the ball scale?
Yeah.
Jason Jensen is JJ.
These new things, I read it on the internet.
Oh.
Jason Jensen. Yeah, but Jason Jensen, he runs trains, but his layout isn't about trains.
No, it's about buildings he's selling.
Yeah, buildings and structures, things that he sells. I mean, if he's a modeler, I wouldn't call him a railroad like person. I don't know.
I've just pinched this off Ron. It's a Jaffa cake,
It's called a donut.
but with a hole in the middle, so they call it a donut, Jaffa nut. It's like sponge cake, dark
It's like
chocolate, orange in the inside.
it's kind of like a donut. It's good, huh? Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their thing. They want to do, they want to build kits and have buildings on their layout, and they want to run trains, or everybody's got their thing. I mean, you do what you want to do. I mean,
What am I thinking?
I like the kit building, the detailing, and building the kits. But I also like running trains, especially the industrial ones. I'll get away with running the pacer. I don't really need the intercities unless I build 2 separate towns.
it's big enough that you could build 2 separate towns. Daleport isn't that big. I mean, Digger, you got 30 feet and then 30 feet. If you do a peninsula, you got even more. Like, you could have like a bunch of towns. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I could. I might even do that, 2 separate towns.
you have 3 towns, you can have 4 towns, you can have 10 towns. I mean, like, you don't need to, like, everybody, like, I think feels that if you model a town, that you have to do every building in the town. You just pick the buildings you like, and that's it. That's what you model. You don't model the whole town. You can't fit it. Like, I mean, you just pick and choose, compress things.
Yeah, the inner area of the city and the bits that you like out of that. Forget the suburbs and all the houses and stuff.
I mean, your layout. You're not building your layout like all your towns from here to London. Every your building is just freelance. It's it doesn't exist. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, completely. Which is why I can get away with putting things in there I prefer, like the American buildings, the American kits. The British kits, there is some now, I've got to admit, there's some British kits, laser cut kits and that are coming on really, really good now and looking better and better. But the standard old-fashioned British kits that we've had for years are absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Really is like Toy Town. That's the only way I can describe it. Like the Teletubby set or something. Really bad. Hugh got into model railroading for the women. Wow, I'm just trying to let Ron know that. Hugh, he only started the hobby, model trains and that, to pull the women in. Because
What women? Most women don't do trains.
Oh, you.
So he's going to have like very few pickings.
Well, Dwight wants to know if he's having much luck.
Probably not.
That's why Ron's still attracted to me after all this time, because of my layout. She loves it. She finds it so sexy.
It's great. Smash it.
Are you gonna have a red light district? Of course he's gonna have one.
Every town has them, don't they?
Yeah, Daleport has one.
Yep. Delport already has one, so this Delport.
Is even going to do curb crawling things.
What kind of things?
Curb crawling. That's where the cars go really slow, isn't it? Looking for someone to collect.
Is that what they call it? Curb crawling?
They call it curb crawling, yeah.
Really?
Just really slow along the curb, waiting for a hooker.
Wow. Curb crawling. Well, it sounds like you got your work cut out for you, Digger. I'm tired just thinking of it.
It's all right, Jerry. I'm going to help him.
Are you?
Yeah. You know, I once managed to persuade her to give me 10 minutes time in the layout to help me with some building placement, and she figured it out pretty good, where the building should go and where they look right and the reasoning behind it.
My job's rearranging.
I've got Kathy's book as well that talks all about perspectives and all that type of deal.
Well, you should give Ron that book and she can study it.
No, I don't need to, Jerry.
No?
I'll probably put some buildings
see
where I
everything
think
in my mind's high.
where I think they should go, and then I'll double check with Ron, and she might be able to give me a bit of advice about them.
So is this layout going to be better than your other one because Ron's going to help you?
I helped him with the other one, Jerry.
She helped me with some of the building placement on this one. What else did you do? Oh, you made me some scrap cars. She did me some scrap cars as well.
What she did to them?
I battered them with an hammer.
No kidding.
She smashed them up. You have to be drunk. Not in the UK, Rusty. It's a crime to curb crawl in your car. I suppose they'd prefer people to get out of the car and walk down to the red light district, collect whatever they want, and walk back to the car with them. I don't know.
It's a crime, huh?
To curb crawl, yeah.
So, the joiner guy, he give you an idea how many, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to build like 6 foot sections, 4 foot sections? How are you doing your bench work?
It's just going to be made from 8x4 sheets, and an 8 foot sheet's going to be down, then another 8 foot sheet, and so on. I'm not going to do it like that, apart from the pull out for the double doors. That'll be made to suit the double doors.
So each section is going to be 8 foot?
Yeah.
Long? Is it going to be, are they going to go to the floor? Is it going to just go to the wall? You got an idea? Did you give the guy an idea of what bench work is like?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just going to be as far as he's concerned, a flat level bench going all the way around, 28-inch wide, all the way around at a certain height, and that's what.
So is he going to build it in place?
Yeah. As soon as the building's up, he's going to come in with me. We're going to measure it exactly.
Okay.
Where we want it. He's going to tell me. He's going to work out the quantity of 3x2 and the quantity of plywood I'll need. I'm going to order that, get it delivered, and then he's going to turn up with his saws and his screwdriver and everything.
So here's my question to you. Do you really think you want your layout to be 43 inches high? And the only reason I asked is now you're going to be standing up. Would you rather have it so that you're sitting in a chair and can work on your layout?
You could get a chair what raises.
Well, now that he's
only raises so high
to move the chair around, I know.
Well, I mean that's here's the thing, right? I mean, are you going to be able to stand for long periods of time working on your layout versus sitting for long periods of time? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just posing a question to you. That's it. I mean,
I'm just thinking about it now.
Something to think about. I mean, I don't think I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like right now, I'm okay. If I had a big 30-foot by 12-foot layout continuously around, I don't know that I would want it all that high because at some, I mean, it's going to take years to do.
To the end, so
It's not going to take like a month or two to build. I mean, like,
Invention slides in and out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're doing modelling, you're not going to want to stand.
not listening to me.
Yeah, but we're not talking about actually sitting and building a model.
No,
we're talking about
when
layout working actually. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you have a separate part to make all your stuff ready for getting them ready, and then you've not much standing to do by the time you've done it.
Yeah, but I will have, because there's a lot of fixing and doing to still go on. I'll have to do.
So here's my thought. Like, here you are today. This is how you are physically.
Yeah.
4 years from now, how will you be? Think about that, right?
I don't know. Standing is okay.
Here's what you don't want to happen. What happened to Claude? He built this layout, I don't know, so many years ago, and he was able to work on it easily. And as he got older, he couldn't do the things that he could do years ago. As in, he can't get under the layout like he once did. Whatever, he can't stand there long. So you got to think of not just today, 5 years from today, 4 years from today.
I wanted it higher up for the access to the underneath.
Right.
And the storage space. I've got a lot of die-cast cars I want to display underneath. But I'm okay standing, but I actually have a special seat in the other shed that you can alter the height of. I'm not sure how high it goes, and it's got a sloped seat on it, so you can just sort of lean back and perch yourself on it while you're doing stuff.
So Digger's only grandchild that he has hope of helping him on his layout is his little granddaughter Harley. But I mean, like 4 years from now, she's not going to be old enough to solder stuff.
Oh no! No.
I mean, she'll be able to help you do things, but she's not going to be able to really help you work on your layout until she's older. That's just my thought. There's chairs that can elevate, and I guess so. I don't know how big some chairs can be and be, moving around on. I don't know.
Yeah, or a stool. We can just move it around because it's going to be the room. Yeah, Ron thinks I should have some sort of movable chair or on wheels. I mean, this is on wheels. It won't go.
But that's not comfortable to work at. You need like a stool or something that you're able to, like a mechanic type thing where you're able to like move yourself around easily. It's like you don't want like something with, a big back and it's just that's
the
not
stool I have now is like that, and it's just got that slope seat. I'm not sure how tall I can make that go. I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, look around, see what's out there.
Yeah, good point.
But that's something to keep in mind. I mean, whether or not you want a seat back is up to you. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Your back straight and lean forward a lot. And if I'm at the bench, I'm going to be leaning forward slightly anyway, aren't I?
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think with the seat back, you tend to like sit back and you're kind of you can kind of lose posture, I guess. Easy.
I
I don't
sit
know.
back and fall asleep, mate. If I get too comfortable.
Use crimp connections or Wagyu connectors or terminal screws. Yeah, I mean, but you still got to solder shit. I mean, you still got to solder stuff to your rails. I mean,
LEDs to the buildings and all that caper.
yeah. Easy bake soldering iron? I don't think so, Bob. Stick to your fishing. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to
Also,
put both wires in before it's fastened, so they're in there then.
yeah, I mean, yeah, so like, I don't know, like, is he building framework and then putting the top on?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
could,
3x2 frame, just right around the back, and then the front, the joiners that come across, and then the ledge at the front. And he's going to do that all the way around and cut all the plywood to fit.
if you keep your bus line to the front, mount it maybe on your front bench work underneath, mount it there, and then go from there to wherever you need to go to. That way it's easy to get to whenever you, oh, bless you, whenever you need to get to it. You know,
Yeah.
don't bury all your wiring so far back that it's hard to get to.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like again, my layout's not that big, but my wires are to the front of my layout, right? So they're right there, right? And they just go back with my feeders.
So I could put it actually on the front edge, behind the front edge.
It's reminding.
Tap through, and the splies that come across, drill a hole through those, feed it through those, and just do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just attach connectors where I need them.
However, whatever you want to use for connectors, use. I mean, as some people, I used connectors on my N scale layout. I wouldn't do it again. That's just me personally. The terminal block and soldering, it's just a solid connection, and you don't have to worry about nothing coming apart. It's just how I am. I don't have a problem with soldering stuff. But yeah, I mean, got a lot of work, Digger.
I have, but I'll be able to spend more time on this layout than on the other because it's an all year round building. It's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lot nearer to the house. So Ron can just run out the back door and to the shed with me coffee and my sandwiches and my meals and that. She hasn't got far to walk. And in the winter time, I don't have as far to walk and slip and slide.
Yeah, you're going to need a coffee machine out there.
Or just a little kettle and make it
Something.
that way.
You're going to need something so you don't have to keep going in and out in the house to make coffee.
Yeah, certainly are.
Sounds good, Digger.
I'm looking forward to it.
You'll be there before you know it. I mean, like, it sounds like the building is going to go up pretty fast, and your bench work is going to get built pretty fast. And then,
yeah, it's going to take shape pretty quickly.
Yeah, see, like, I don't like the T-tap connectors for feeders. Like, I just don't like them. I have them on my N scale layout. I don't like them. I mean, like, if you're going to go that route, there's no more work in running a bus and then running distribution blocks to run from your to feeders. I mean, I don't. There's no more work to it. I mean, you don't. I don't know. You just it's a solid connection. You know that there's you know no chance of you not crimping it right, or I just don't like them. They're easy, but I don't care for them. What's up, Deep Run Mike?
God, set cameras up between them so you get different views from
Yeah, for videoing. Multi-cameras Ron suggesting, so we get a few different views.
Yeah, once you get going, get a couple cameras.
Yeah.
Will you be able to have internet out there?
I think so, yeah. And if that's the case, well, we don't need to be in the house at all, do we? I can be out there live broadcasting and all sorts.
Well, that would be a nice thing if you could broadcast,
yeah.
have a live from out there and run trains, kind of like all the other people do, like
do a
Andy.
live from start to finish.
Yeah, I'm planning on spontaneous live streams as things go. But I could, yeah, if I can get internet fine out there, I'll probably take most of my clutter out there. My computer and everything can sit in there, and I can go live.
Yeah.
While I'm out there, I can even watch videos while I'm out there if the internet works okay out there.
Yeah, you got to see how it is and how everything, how you like being out there.
Well, I'm going to love it, mate. I'm just going to lock myself in.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'm going to take a couple of beds out there for the dogs, so the dog beds can come in. I'll just lock myself in with a couple with it, whichever dogs want to come in. Plenty of coffee, and it'll be splendid.
All right, sounds good. All right, that's it. 7 o'clock. I gotta wind down and go to bed. All right, Digger. Thanks for joining and telling us all about your layout.
Thank you for having me, Jerry. My pleasure.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. See you later.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Ron.
Bye, everyone.
See you, everybody. Have a good night.